Frank Bentley. Let's go. Yeah, make it look easy. Hey, stand up guy, boom, 10 toes. Big body pull up in a Range Rover. I can change the whole game when I say so. I pull up, shut it down, yeah, they know. Running this game ain't a thing for me. I never switched up, no change in me. The only thing changing this season, you go against me, then you know that you tweaking, okay? Cause baby, I'm him, I be on 10. Two-stepping in the party, I do not dance. Watch how I move, make it look easy. Counting up wins, that's part of the plan. Blackmail, taking up my haters a CC. That can't fail, all my victories will repeat. I'm knee deep, need a dub, best that you seek me. I'm too sick, yeah, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, tell them don't try to play me. Yeah, I'm drippy on the daily. They can never count me out, I know. They can never count me out, I know. I make it look easy, make it look easy. I know make it look easy, make it look easy. I know I make it look easy, too smooth, I make it look easy. I know we make it look easy, make it look. I know love shooting my shot, better play up. Make it look easy, that's a layup. Bad man. Why they wanna be like me, a sad man? Too wavy, swallow your pride. All of my guys, call them, they slide. They will oblige. Called them, I told them, you playing with me. Now look, all of them starting to riot. Whoa, huh. When I'm in your city, it's magic. When I'm all in my bag, it gets tragic. When I see what I want, gotta have it. I can't let up, they made me a savage. I can't slow down my foot on the gas, yeah. Going way up from where I was last year. I'ma make it look easy, that's it. I know God got me, he got my back. These blessings falling in my lap. I came up, give it all I had. Rep my city, put them on my back. Hit my shots on
NYYST. This is New York. Yankee sports talk, swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course SGR. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Homie, New York, Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine, grab your shades and umbrellas. NYYST, you're hanging with the fellas.
Welcome back. This is episode 373 of the NYYST podcast. We're live on NYY Underground. I am your host, Christian, as always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And SGR.
Okay.
We have reached the day that we have all been waiting for. The day where there is no more. Next time we sit at these respective seats, the Yankees will have played a baseball game. We have reached our final show of the offseason. I did not think this day was ever going to come. This offseason was incredibly long, especially since the Yankees didn't play any postseason baseball in 2023, but we're down to the final 7 days of the offseason. So next time you hear us, we will be live after opening day in Houston. So we're here, fellas.
Live. Okay, we'll do
I'm not going to be able to watch maybe the first hour and a half.
Sucks.
Do I record or do I just try to
I would record. If it's hour and a half, I would record
if
it
it's
and then
opening
just catch
day,
up. I just hate recording games, man.
Well, I might have to do the same thing. I might miss like the first inning.
Ooh,
So we'll be done. I mean, as long as you can get done by 8 and we're here ready to go, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. We do have to do.
Well, you can fast forward.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you cut through. You'll probably catch up before the game's over.
I always take off on opening day, but I said, the game's at 4. I'll be home in time, and then naturally, like I have a project that I have to do on Thursday now.
School project?
Yeah, school. I have to go back to school. I have to go back to 7th grade. Okay, I'm like Billy Madison.
Okay. Billy passed the 3rd grade. Okay.
So live here tonight on NYYU. If you're in the chat, please like this video, smacky the likey, and hit the sub, okay, for NYYU. We'll be taking voicemails later on the show. I'm sure Pete will pin the number to the top of the chat here. He already has, okay. So leave us a voicemail. We'll get to it at the end of the show. Also, subscribe to NYYST on whatever platform you listen to your podcast on, and be sure to go out and tell everybody that we are the official Yankees podcast of Odyssey. So,
we do have a super chat from our boy
already, huh?
Michelino.
Okay.
Who wants to say, just call him K Yamamoto Igawa.
Wow.
Okay.
Yamagawa.
Yamagawa.
Okay.
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 Yamagawa.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yamagawa. Okay.
Yamagawa.
Okay. Yamagawa.
So there you go. We've got the bookkeeping out of the way. A pretty cool moment happened for us today as part of this agreement with Odyssey is that we were actually sent a script for a commercial that we have to record.
Crazy, man.
Look at us.
Yeah, it's pretty wild here that we've come a long way in 7 years that our voices are going to be heard during pre and post game coverage of the Yankees this season. So it's pretty wild. I'm just extremely grateful for this opportunity that's been presented to us. We thanked everybody that's made this possible. Just kind of going through something right now because this next time that we record, man, it's time to hit the ground running here. The season will have started. I mean, we are on the what I mean, if you think this is me being hyperbolic and me just souping up NYYU, that's fine. You can think that, but tell me who's better than us. We are
No one.
going to be on the premier outlet channel, whatever word you want to use for Yankee coverage in 2024. This is our year for NYYU. This is going to be the year for NYYST. I mean, it's all right in front of us, man. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. So let's get started here, man. I don't know. Is this the LADST podcast tonight?
Okay. I'll do it.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll do it.
Okay, you got the
I'll go-
Dodgers.
I'll go down the rabbit hole.
All right.
So
Dodgers.
I
Okay,
think
you got Freddie Freeman. Okay, you got Mookie Betts, and so does Shohei Ohtani's translator. Okay, he bets. Okay, you take Mookie Betts, you flip his initials, you get Bookie Mets. Okay, was Mookie Betts the bookie for Shohei Ohtani? Okay, we won't know that because Major League Baseball decides to not investigate. Okay, so we got to maybe look into Mookie Betts. What's his involvement with the last name? We'll stay tuned. Okay, go ahead.
I don't think we can actually do this show without bringing up a lot of outside Yankee stories. Sometimes we skip because they're just time and we're.
Yeah, no, this is too much.
I mean,
Yeah, we have to talk.
so
about it.
basically, yesterday it came out that Shohei Ohtani's interpreter stole. This is the initial. Stole $4.5 million from him, and then as the day went on, it kind of turns out that $4.5 million was used to cover a gambling debt.
Wild.
So Shohei Ohtani is implicated, I guess, for lack of a better term, in a big gambling scandal right now, and MLB allowed him to play in a game, an official game. The season actually started on Wednesday. I'm sorry, with 2 games in South Korea with the Padres and Dodgers. Okay, so the season is actually officially underway, but it doesn't really count because it's the Dodgers and Padres, and it's in South Korea. So we're all still looking forward to Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I saw some.
Here's how bad Major League Baseball is at marketing. This could have been a huge series. You had Darvish starting for the Padres. I get it. They're in South Korea. But the game's on at what? It was on at what? 2 or 3 in the morning here?
Yeah,
6 a.m.
It's still MLB. How are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Because
who's this good for?
It's good for the Asian market.
We don't need the bigger Asian market. Baseball's huge in Asia.
Maybe they want to be bigger.
Maybe if they're going to do it in
this
like.
has been a thing though. Didn't the Yankees play?
Yeah,
in
but
Japan?
done.
Come on, man. Come
when
on.
did they do that? Was that Matsui's like first
Come on,
year
you
with the team?
can't go against me here, right? You're an advocate for how bad MLB is at marketing.
And well, it feels like they didn't even market it that well, at least here, because I didn't even friggin' realize that it was going on.
Me
I
neither.
don't think it was for us. So I mean, that's
That's bullshit.
Well,
It's America's pastime, bro.
Well, it's a global game now. Okay.
Wild.
So Dallas Braden, who I don't really like too much,
Hate his guts. Keep going.
But he did tweet out a timeline yesterday, which I want to read right now because it does call into a lot of things into question here. So Ohtani's rep goes on record with ESPN stating Ohtani transferred $4.5 million himself to the bookmaker on behalf of Ipe. I guess that's how you say the translator's name.
Yeah.
Okay. Spokesperson for Ohtani delivers Ipe to ESPN for statement. Ipe says Ohtani never bet and felt bad for him and paid off his debt so he'd never do it again.
Then
Spokesperson for Ohtani says Ipe is lying after he gives his 90-minute statement to ESPN. Ohtani's lawyers then claim massive theft. Ipe then says Ohtani had zero knowledge of his debt or his gambling habit in general.
okay, so
Lies. That's
okay,
a lie.
wait, hold on. We have to just go back, and I think love him or hate him, unfortunately for him, Craig Carton is a guy that you can maybe trust a little bit more when it comes to this stuff. He's had a rough history of it, and he's taking this pretty seriously. And he made a great point that after Ipe comes out, sorry if we're pronouncing that wrong, I have no idea. I think that's the best we're gonna get here. He comes out and makes that statement, and then Ohtani's camp goes, "Uh-oh, if I did that, then it's an automatic suspension because it's an illegal bookie. It's illegal gambling. So the non-baseball gambling part of it doesn't matter at that point. If he's wiring money to pay off debts, if he's complicit in that, if it's going to an illegal bookie, then under the one statute of MLB in the rules that the CBA comes to an agreement on, it's an automatic suspension. So if he admits to that through his interpreter or whatever, making that statement, he's automatically supposed to be suspended by Major League Baseball. So was it Ohtani's camp that says, oh, no, shit, we better walk that back? Or is it MLB? Because this would be fun. This would be fun. Was it MLB who said, whoa, you need to walk that back because then we have to suspend you? Now, here's what I'll say. Before we go any further, I am a big advocate for the one thing that makes us different than any other third world country out there: innocent until proven guilty, no matter who you are, no matter what is going on. So I'm not sitting here saying I know anything. I will assume his innocence until proven otherwise. My problem here is, and I said this to you guys earlier, how much are we actually ever going to know anyway? Because even if he is guilty, the last thing Major League Baseball needs and wants is their golden boy, Shohei Ohtani, to have a smeared name.
It's already smeared.
I don't know, dude. You know they're going to... Yeah, hold on. It's smeared to a point because we've seen the brainwashing. We've seen all the media will never turn. They will tell you till they're blue in the face he's innocent and then pretend it never happened, vote him into the Hall of Fame one day. And in their world, it will never have happened.
So earlier today, I was scrolling on TikTok, and literally 3 consecutive videos were all by well-known baseball journalists or people that cover the sport that are all well-known, saying basically the same thing. Well, we don't really know. We shouldn't jump to any conclusions. I'm jumping, bro. I'm jumping to a lot of conclusions right now because as somebody who's watched The Sopranos and has knowledge of these types of things, you do not walk into an illegal bookmaker and say, hey, let me run up nearly $5 million worth of debt. I'm just somebody who can translate Japanese. No, this guy, at the very least, there's 2 things at the very least that Shohei Ohtani is guilty of. One, he's guilty of paying this guy's debt because then he knew that this guy had a major gambling problem. Okay, because of what we do know about Shohei Ohtani isn't a lot, but what we do know, he's a very private guy. This guy was in such a long-term, committed, deep relationship that he ended up getting married. Nobody even knew anything like about him. Okay, whether or not he was in a relationship or whatever, right? Nobody knew anything. All of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm married. Okay, so you don't be that private and then $5 million, $4.5 million just disappears from your
Right.
bank account. You're very meticulous with every little thing
Everything
that
you
happens
do
in your life.
Yep.
Okay, so at the very least, he knew this guy had a gambling problem, paid his gambling debt off, right? Or he walked into the bookie and said, I got him.
Right. Let
I
him
got
bet
him.
as much as he wants. I got him. Or option 3, he's betting himself. I mean, or option 4, somehow miraculously, and I think it's the least likely and the least believable, he truly didn't know.
Right, and that's the other option, is that he just completely lacks awareness that this guy that he claims to spend every single day with. There's quotes that he spends every day, like 365 days a year with this guy. You're that ignorant or that delusional that this guy's doing stuff right in front of you. So that's the option. Then that's like, you almost like
Can I make a point? Let me make this point, right?
Okay.
This is not your business manager. This is
Okay,
not your
right.
agent. This is not your accountant. All three of those guys, women, whatever, would have access to your money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Why would the interpreter have access to his money?
Right. Makes 0 sense. So I think 2 things can be true at once. You can give him the benefit of the doubt of saying innocent until proven guilty, and you can also not be naive. And if you're not naive, then this stinks more than anything I've seen in a long time. Something's up, and all I pray is that the media and that Major League Baseball doesn't treat us like we're idiots.
You can't sweep this under the rug. There's something, dude,
and they're gonna try.
Going. There's something. They're already trying.
Yeah, they are.
Somebody watched the entire game today on MLB.
They didn't mention it once, right?
And they didn't mention it on from the Dodgers broadcast. They said they didn't mention it once.
It's crazy.
And you kind of notice this across all sports too, with gambling becoming more and more prevalent in sports with its legalizations everywhere. Like you look at basketball right now, I think Rudy Gobert, he did one of these gestures when a ref threw him out of a game, like you're
yeah, well, that
you, and he got fined $100,000 for that. So like they nipped that stuff right away because of the money involved.
Yeah, so you definitely can't do that. Okay, so but listen here. We like to say that Aaron Judge is the biggest star in baseball, but we all know that it's Shohei Ohtani because Shohei Ohtani is global, right? Aaron Judge
he's got the gimmick that works really well for him right now.
And because he's Japanese, he's got the globalization, right?
Right.
So there is nobody else, Aaron Judge included, even if you're like, whatever, anybody else, Ronald Acuna, it doesn't matter who it is. Anybody else is at the very least on MLB's restricted list and not allowed to play right now.
Yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily agree that should be the case. I agree that would be the case. I don't necessarily agree it should be. I think if it's a nonviolent thing for me, until you have enough evidence to say they were complicit in some way, like it shouldn't be something that you're suspended for. If it's something like
he could be facing, he could be facing federal tax charges.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying it's not crazy and it's not illegal. What I'm saying is I'm willing to let the process play out before we serve up a suspension in that sense. Now, if it's a violent thing that you're being accused of and there needs to be, that's a different story.
Well, yeah, but again, if we're taking their word for it, fine, okay. But if Ohtani's the one that racked up this debt and he's the guy with the gambling problem, you cannot allow him to play. It's illegal. It's against the rules of the game.
Yeah, but the problem is if it's anyone else, it's that person versus Major League Baseball. When it's Shohei Ohtani, it's that person and Major League Baseball versus the people. And that's true. It's not, they've done so much to this point that we'd be stupid and foolish not to think otherwise.
David Douglas super chat. Maybe he bet on pro wrestling.
Maybe. Never know. Can you bet on pro wrestling?
Yeah, you can bet on pro wrestling.
You can? Huh.
You
That's pretty
can.
wild.
You can bet on. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
No digs. No digs.
I mean, you can, if you know what you're doing, you can make money.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess. Look, bro, it's going to be an interesting story to watch unfold. We are always. I feel like we're in a lot of agreement on this. Is that we're always you're innocent until proven guilty in this country, but also look at the evidence. Look at how they botched this timeline already.
Yeah, and again, because of what I'm saying, that MLB is going to do as much as they can to help cover this up and not dig into it. It's kind of on us, and by us I mean everyone out there who seeks the truth, to actually open our eyes a little.
No, I get it. Dodger fans are going to be blind to this and want MLB to sweep it away, and that's
of course.
And I mean, if this was Aaron Judge, we would want the same thing. But I also think if the same exact thing happened with Aaron Judge, and instead of an interpreter, it was his personal hitting coach that he has, we'd be saying the same thing. Like, this is pretty wild. Like, how did this guy rack up $4.5 million of damage of gambling debts on Aaron Judge's dime? Like, it just doesn't add up correctly.
Yeah. No, it stinks.
I mean, yeah, man.
Not a good gambler then, huh?
Yeah, terrible gambler.
Jesus.
What do you think he bet on, dude? You think he bet on? You think he did bet
Angels
on
under? Or Angels over, maybe?
And here's something to think about real quick. Just a little quick tidbit, little thing I'll throw out there, little speck. Okay, everyone says, first of all, we've already cleared up this guy's not getting a $4.5 million credit line to gamble, right? Either Ohtani had to have backed it, or
I think his
something
name was
had to have been
attached
backed.
to it.
Okay.
Yes.
But here's my thing, and this is what makes it hard for me to believe it wasn't Ohtani. If the interpreter even had a slight gambling problem, okay, so let's just start here. At the highest, what's the net worth of the interpreter?
I don't know, maybe a
250.
couple hundred,
like
maybe a couple
250 a year.
100,000.
Couple 100,000, right? Which means that at a certain point, he's already drowning more than he can fathom. Why keep racking up your debt if Ohtani is there to fix your mess? Why not just go to Ohtani and say, hey, look, dude, I'm at $1 million in debt. Can you help me get out of this? What's making you get to $4.5 million before you're going to the guy?
Addiction,
right? Because at $1 million, you're already fucked.
Yeah, but addiction is a strong thing. People are gambling addicts, and again, maybe he did know that he had Ohtani's blessing.
But at $1 million, you're already vomiting everywhere.
Maybe I don't know this guy. If we're going to assume that he's
more details.
If we're going to assume he's the one that racked up the debt, we don't know.
I don't know, dude. Fishy.
You think he put $2 million down on a hand of blackjack?
No, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I won't.
All I'm going to say,
proven guilty.
All I'm going to say is this: right, innocent until proven guilty. The interpreter did not steal $4.5 million from Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani knew exactly where the money was going.
It's just impossible to be any other way.
I don't want to accuse him of anything. It's a federal crime, for Christ's sake. So, I think he would look real cute in a pinstripe jumpsuit. Okay.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not our pinstripes. I never wanted him in our pinstripes.
Okay. Orange is the new navy blue. Okay.
Okay.
But it's hard for me to believe that. It's really, really hard for me to believe that he didn't know what was happening with this money.
Should be look.
Right.
And apparently, there's been reports that his names are on wire transfers.
Yeah.
So
I saw that.
Yeah. Come on. MLB's got a lot. They got.
So
a
now
lot
you're
of work
mean to
on
tell
their
me that
hands.
this guy forged documentation to get? I mean, come on now.
They got
Was he Frank Abagnale over there?
I mean, this guy's got a better scheme going than Ocean's 11 over here.
Okay, was he catch me if you can? Okay, well, you catch this fastball? Okay, what are you doing, Frank? Okay, Abagnale, you're forging checks? Okay, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So LADST part 1 over, part
All right.
2 now. Yoshinobu Yamamoto made his major league debut today and got my favorite word, mollywopped. Allowed 5 runs in an inning, and this was after he allowed he pitched to an 8 ERA in spring training. And then somebody from ESPN tweeted out yesterday that the reason why it's Kylie something is the person's name. I wish I had it in front of me now. Said that the reason why Yamamoto had an 8 ERA in spring training is because he was just tanking spring training.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got tanked today. Look, I'm not going to sit here and change anything that we said in the offseason. I want it. Chris, you there?
Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Oh.
Where'd he go?
I wanted the.
Froze at a.
Are we losing him?
Shit. No, he's back. He's back. I'm on the YouTube page, so I didn't even notice that because it's like a little.
I'll talk to you then.
Yeah, we're good. I think we're back. He's frozen though, but whatever. Just keep going.
So we wanted the Yamamoto off season. We were all in on that. You know, it was kind of a man when they didn't get him. But I did say this: $325 million to a guy that has never thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball is a monumental risk.
It's a huge risk. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's coming here. He's throwing a friggin' heavier baseball. He's pitching every 5th day instead of every 6th day. So there's definitely those factors that play into it.
And
sure.
I think it was Kevin from Bronx or Nothing said in our chat that his fastball is flatter than Taylor Swift's ass.
Dude,
so
the splitter, man, the splitter was ugly. It was not doing anything. It was just a slow pitch that was like a little bit of break, but it was elevated, and they were just teeing off.
I'm not saying the guy's going to be a bum or he's going to be a bust. All I'm saying is that the initial returns are not great. I mean, he can go out and pitch 7 scoreless in his next outing, so who knows? But
I could also see it being the case like those Field of Dreams games, how the run total in those games was crazy, and you saw that
like
again.
The London series, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, the London series, yeah, like exactly where you're playing in a different type of ballpark that maybe
he didn't pitch well in spring training. So
no, sure, but that whole series. I mean, what the Dodgers scored 23 runs in 2 games, so same with the what are the 26 runs right for the Padres in 2 games. That's all not. Shouldn't be the norm going forward. So I'm not really holding too much by it.
It's just something to keep an eye on here.
For sure.
So, I mean, like we said, dude, we did definitely wanted the Yankees to get him, but it was also something in the back of your mind. Like I always said that, dude, you got to look at it. The Yankees put $300 million in front of a guy that never pitched in Major League Baseball. You don't know what you're getting. It's not like giving Cole 325 when you knew that Gerrit Cole was already an established ace in the big leagues. It's always that unknown is scary. And if we had the show in 2014, is that when Tanaka came over here? 2014?
2014?
Probably.
And he got 170 something million dollars, I think it was. We've been saying the same thing.
It was 2014.
Right?
Wow,
You just never know.
It was that long ago.
You just never know. So
10 years.
We'll be watching Yoshinobu from afar here, but now we turn into the NYYST podcast, and we alluded to it just a second ago. I mentioned his name, Gerrit Cole. Last week was probably one of the most depressing episodes we ever did. The only one that probably tops it is the one that we thought Aaron Judge was leaving to go to San Francisco. But
I forgot about that, man.
Yeah. So the news kind of, and I was so pissed, man. Like it fucking 20 minutes after we signed off.
I know. But the cool part about it was you got to, I mean, it sucks promotion, like to promote the show.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that we had old news right away.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool part of it was that you got the raw emotion of us before we knew.
Yeah, I like that side of it. That's like our speculation of what was going to happen, and then it immediately happened.
So Cole is avoiding surgery. There's inflammation, obviously. And Udema, I think is how you pronounce it, which is
Inflammation
It's not inflammation. It's
of the nerve.
no, it's
Just call
it's
me.
like fluid buildup around the tissue around the nerve, which
Okay.
this condition is common in three things: legs, feet, pregnant women.
Okay.
Somehow it happened in Gerrit Cole's elbow.
So here's something I didn't look into.
Only the Yankees.
Only the Yankees. Here's something I didn't look into, and I might sound dumb asking this question.
Of course.
So because it's this, does that mean that the tendon itself, like, because I'm still worried he's going to come back in 2 months and then it's going to be like, nope, shut it down, fucking Tommy John. So because it's this condition,
He saw the doctor. They don't think that's a problem. So they think
Okay.
rest, rehab, and he'll be ready to go.
okay. So so again, I don't know if anyone can answer this. Maybe
There's no tear.
there's
This
no
has been-
tear at all. There's no
this has
tear.
been confirmed.
Tendon looks clean other than the fluid buildup in the area and inflammation.
Yeah. Where have you been the last week?
No, I'm telling you, I know that that's the diagnosis. What I'm saying is,
Dr.
I didn't
Chris,
know if that
okay.
was in addition to, also there's a slight risk here of Tommy John.
I'm sure there's always a risk of a pitcher getting Tommy John surgery, but I don't think anybody's concerned with that at this moment. They're concerned about this other thing.
I guess
Edema
the
is a
best-
swelling caused by a buildup of fluid.
Yeah. So I guess the better way to ask this question is, when Tanaka opted to not have surgery,
He had a tear.
right? Okay, he had he
Okay,
had a
right,
slight
yes.
tear.
Yes, there was a tear. Yes.
So no tear at all.
Yeah. Yes, doctor.
Okay. Wow. I feel even. I didn't think I could feel better. I feel even better.
Definitely.
So we're
Makes me
told
feel
Gerrit Cole could be back anywhere between 6 and 8 weeks. I mean, if you do the math on that, there is a chance that we could see Gerrit Cole around Memorial Day this year.
Look, we said it last episode, and I think it still rings true. If he needs till July, if he needs till the All-Star break, I will still be jumping through the fucking roof.
Right.
I don't want him to.
The Yankees are not going to rush him back, but I mean, you know how he is. He's not going to
Dude.
come back unless he's ready to. And
All I needed to hear was that he's going to pick up a ball this year.
and I think if everything goes well, there's a chance that we could see him around Memorial Day. I'm hoping for June 5th. Okay, that's my. So I don't have to buy. There's a June 2nd. I forget what day I'm going.
Wow.
Let me look at this. I know my cousin's watching. Why is he not fucking chiming in right now? June 5th is Juan Soto basketball jersey night at Yankee Stadium. I'm going to the game.
Reach.
It's actually a fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it is a nice jersey.
It's really
I-
nice.
Yeah.
Wear it for the summer. It's a pinstripe 22 tank
I
top.
want one.
It would take
walnut.
think of this. Let's go back a couple months.
Hmm.
Your brain couldn't wrap your brain around this idea that you'd be in a circumstance where you'd hear Gerrit Cole was going to be out for 2 months to start the year, and you were excited about it.
I'm not excited about it.
Hold on a second.
I mean,
you heard. Hold on. When you heard that news, you weren't excited.
I'm
Oh, come on. Hell yeah.
relieved that
Which
he's
is-
not going to
You
miss.
no.
There's not.
You were
I'm not like,
excited.
yay.
You
2 months."
tweeted
Yeah, your
World
tweet was
Series
excited,
back on.
dude. Come
You
on,
were
Christian.
excited, bro. And you can't tell me you weren't. You should have been. I was excited. SGR was excited.
World Series
SGR's
back
mother
on.
was excited. My
I'm
mother,
like-
not so much.
Okay.
Yeah, World Series back on. He's going to pitch this year, but it's not like
You weren't excited.
It's
But
a
that
level.
sounds like a pretty excited thing to say. You're pretty pumped up.
You were pumped.
relief excitement.
Could you just imagine correlating him being out for 2 months and any bit of
Brothers
relief?
going at Christian.
Huh?
No, the NYY Underground in the chat said, "Oh shit, the brothers going at Christian." Okay, we just fucking teamed up.
Like, can you? I just can't believe we were put in a situation where that was a relief. Fine, you want to use the word relief? We'll use it relief. Could you imagine being relieved that he'd be out for 2 months to start the year?
No, God, I told you last week, bro. This is a guy you don't want to miss for an inning, let alone 2 months. But I mean, the situation that we were put in, yeah, it's a better situation than the alternative. So yes, I was happy that he's only missing 2 months.
Okay.
I'm not excited that he's missing any amount of time.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure you're not.
So somebody's got to replace these innings, and it won't be Blake Snell, who signed a 2-year deal with the San Francisco Giants earlier this week. Opt out after the first year. I'm over Blake Snell, dude. I don't want to. I mean, we can spend a minute on it. The Yankees had an $150 million offer on the table, well past the time that they signed Marcus Stroman, according to the reports that came out this past week. There was no back and forth, no negotiating. It just sat there and sat there and sat there. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, the Yankees couldn't get creative. The Yankees couldn't do this. The Yankees couldn't do that. Okay, look, Chris is going to call in Brian Cashman's ego into question here, which is fine. I already know the avenue he's going down. But you offered this guy a long-term deal, 9 figures. He let it sit there, and now you're going to tuck your tail between your legs and acquiesce to what he wants? If he really wanted to be here, his agent would have called you and made a counteroffer.
No, you're wrong.
I'm
First
not
of all,
wrong.
no, you're wrong about me. If this scenario happened where Scott Boras, Cole goes down, Scott Boras calls Cashman and says he wants 2 years, opt out, 62 million, whatever it was, same contract. And Brian Cashman said no. Hold on. If he said no, strictly because of any luxury tax or giving up this or giving up that, then I'd blame the Yankees and I'd say, fuck you. This is a guy we could have used. Do what you got to do. Hurt a little down the road if you have to, and sign him up. But if that didn't happen, even if Cashman had better reasons to not want to do that deal, other than they're worried about the luxury tax or anything like that, or giving up the draft picks or shit like that.
It has nothing to do with the luxury tax.
It's the draft picks or whatever.
Yeah,
and the
that's
slut
my
money.
yeah. Well,
okay, but my point is, I don't even think Boras, like you said, came back and negotiated.
that's what I had heard, that there was no negotiation.
So
You
if
got
there's
the
no
offer.
negotiation, why would I ever blame the Yankees? I think I'm pretty fair. Like some people think I'm like irrational here. No, I just called them out for their bullshit. And if there's no back and forth, then I'm not blaming the Yankees. Blake Snell can go fuck himself.
Yes, you can. Also, they don't really offer these guys, or a lot of players don't take that short-term deal with the Yankees. I feel like if they are on like a prove-it deal or they want to try again next time, they're not going to test it with the Yankees unless maybe they played for the Yankees and they might, like a Montgomery situation. But Snell's not going to risk doing a prove-it type contract with the team that you're known for not having success if you've never been there before. So there's that risk. You saw with like Correa a few years ago in his market, he kept getting signed and then teams kept backing out because of his physicals. He ends up taking a 1-year prove-it deal with Minnesota. So it's out of the spotlight. It's out of the public eye more so much since he doesn't really fucking want to shove this year for a big market team.
Look, the dude signed for $90 million less than what the Yankees offered him. I'm supposed to feel bad for him. I'm supposed to blame the Yankees for that.
No.
And look, I don't have the chat up because my phone is on low battery. So maybe you guys can tell me what people are saying right now. I want people in the chat to correct me on this if I'm wrong. This has nothing to do with the luxury tax. I know everybody's like, "Ooh, luxury tax." First of all, okay, did the Yankees not offer Yoshinobu Yamamoto $300 million?
They did.
Yeah.
What would have had happened if the Yankees offered him the money? Would they not be over the luxury tax? I mean, if he signed here, would he not be over the luxury tax? Did the Yankees offer Blake Snell $150 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Blake Snell had taken that contract or at least negotiated with them, which I had heard that the Yankees were willing to up it a little bit had there been a negotiation, right? Would the Yankees not be in that realm that everybody thinks that they're so concerned with? So how concerned are the Yankees with this luxury tax if they put those types of contracts out there already this year?
Agreed.
That's my whole point in the thing. I don't understand why people think the Yankees are so hung up on this luxury tax when they've made 2 9-figure offers to pitchers this year. They haven't taken them, but they were willing to pay the luxury tax on those deals. In my mind, right? If they offered it, wouldn't that mean that they were willing to pay it?
Yeah.
And how concerned are really the Yankees with losing those draft picks if they offered Blake Snell a deal? Right. I guess that's why they wanted a long-term deal. So if they were losing it, at least they had the player for multiple years.
That's what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is if Boris comes back after the news about Cole, even if he's just missing 2 months, if Boris came back and said, look, he'll do a deal, but we want it to be 2 years and blah, blah, blah. And Cashman said no explicitly because he's like, I'm giving up this. And I don't only want him for 1 or 2 years. For me, personally, I wouldn't be as okay with it. At the end of the day, I'd still say the Yankees are not to blame here. The guy clearly, it's not that he didn't want to play for the Yankees. It's that he didn't give a shit. He's a guy who clearly doesn't give a shit where he plays. Right?
So if the Yankees are the
as
only
long as
team
the
that
situation's
offered-
good for him.
Well, I mean, if the Yankees were the only team that offered you a long-term deal and you don't have your agent get back to them, do you really want to play there?
I just think you're thinking of this wrong because I think I made a logical point as to why he wants a short-term deal right now.
Why would he want a short-term deal? There's no security
Because
in that.
his market never manifested. His market never he just won a Cy Young, and his piece of shit agent, his market never appeared.
Can I say
So
something
why
that
would
might
he sign
trigger
a
somebody?
long-term deal right now when he could possibly have another good year and then get a bigger contract?
Because he's not that good. He's really
just want
not
a Cy
that
Young
good.
though, dude. You don't want him to bet again. You don't want him to bet on himself like
He's won
Judge did,
two-
or
that's fine. He can. He's a 5-and-fly guy. He walks a ton of players, and he has a history of not staying healthy. Now, I say this all the time. The only 2 times he did stay healthy, he won Cy Young awards, but he doesn't stay healthy.
he won multiple.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
One with
forgot.
Tampa
Yeah.
and then last year.
Those are the only 2 times he pitched 180 innings in his career. He won Cy Young Award. So, yeah, he has the ability stuff-wise. He's got amazing stuff. But he's not, to me, he's not on that level. You want to put him on Gerrit Cole's level? You want to put him on Justin Verlander's
no.
level?
No,
I don't put him up there.
no way. No,
That's why I think the Yankees offering him a comparable deal to Carlos Rodón. I mean, maybe in his mind, he feels that he deserves more, and he probably does based off the resume. But he didn't even negotiate to that point.
But his problem is he was in a contract year where he won Cy Young, and he's has a history of being a better pitcher than Rodón. So, yeah, his market should have been much higher, and it wasn't. No one
offered him a long-term deal,
Exactly
except
my
for the
point.
Yankees.
So now he's saying to himself, I need another shot at this free agency thing.
Well, that's his
I
right.
don't want to get locked up for 5-6 years now.
That's
because
his right.
I'm taking less money than I really should be getting because my agent is a piece of shit.
And then if his arm blows out and he never pitches again, then he just
And
left
that's a
$90
big
million.
risk.
That's
Hey,
$90
that's
million he left on the table.
That's a big risk for him, and
he's
it's likely.
gambling on himself the way
Okay.
that Ohtani's translator gambles. Okay.
So now could it be Jordan Montgomery that, takes a spot in the Yankee rotation? I mean, now Heyman said that the Yankees and Boris have re-engaged on Montgomery. Of course, they're far apart on money, as far as I know, because Montgomery was traded in the middle of the season. Somebody can fact check me on this. That means he's not able to be given a qualifying offer.
Right.
So there's no draft pick compensation loss, I should say, attached to him. Could you go 2 for $50 with an opt-out for Monty? I mean, that seems fair.
Yeah, I would like a 2-year deal. And you're right about that. Players are only eligible for a qualifying offer if they spend the entirety of the just completed season with the same club. So
2 for 52, maybe you want to sweeten it a little bit. It's just weird to me that Brian Cashman thought this guy wasn't good enough to crack their postseason rotation. And now he's trying to bring him in to replace innings that are lost by Gerrit Cole.
Here's my biggest issue with the Monty thing. I'm open to it. Open arms. Love Monty. Reliable guy. Here's my problem with it, and try to help me through this real quick because it's going to be difficult to explain.
Okay.
When Monty was here, he was great because he was the fifth starter kind of guy who took the ball every 5 days. You loved him for it. You knew what you were getting out of him. His worst days were still better than any fifth starter out there. So on and so forth, right? The list goes on and on. Reliable guy. He leaves, and then he somehow becomes this ace. Like, I mean, truly, genuinely pitched like an ace.
Ace-ish.
Come on.
Ace-ish.
Yeah, but he carried that team through the postseason.
Nobody's a bigger Monty guy than me. I know,
but what
again, are you putting him
dude,
on Gerrit Cole's level? Are you putting him on Justin
no,
Verlander?
well,
Spencer
let me
Strider?
get
You putting
there
him up
now.
with those guys?
No, but let me get there now. My point is that he just became this superhero in the postseason where he was, when you thought of who's the ace of the Rangers pitching him through the World Series, through the playoffs into the World Series, you're saying Jordan Montgomery. He's not that guy. And so to come back here now, to pay him this kind of money, which I'm not saying he doesn't deserve, he does, but I just feel like he's coming back here, and what are we supposed to expect from him? Are we supposed to expect a guy who's just reliable back end, takes the ball every 5 days? Or am I expecting a guy who I'm bringing on here now because when October comes, he's taking the ball as my third guy or whatever? I mean, what are you telling me now?
You don't think he gets, you don't think he gets the ball in October?
Well, I mean, you have Cole. You hope Rodon's going to be
and
that
Stroman,
guy for you this
it.
year. And Stroman, right?
And then who gets the ball? It would be him.
Yeah, but once you get past the ALDS, I mean,
you need 4 starters.
Why in my head then am I always thinking the Yankees used 3?
They did to win the World Series in 2009 because they didn't have a 4th starter. They were pitching Andy Pettitte and AJ Burnett on short rest in that postseason.
Right. So are you telling me is he a guy that
Gerrit Cole's healthy.
Here's my ultimate point.
He gets the ball in game 4. Maybe
game 4,
3.
right? Right, game 4, game 3. What do we expect from him if he's coming here, and should the money be beyond that based off of what he did last year?
I just said, well, you don't think 25, 26 is fair for him?
I think it's more than fair, but then...
Okay. So what are we talking about here?
What do you expect Monty to be when he comes back?
I expect Monty to be a good pitcher.
Not a phenomenal pitcher that he was last year in the postseason? I'm saying, are we changing our mindset here? Because he left here as a guy who Cashman said wouldn't even pitch in October, right? You just said that. So now I'm saying, are we supposed to bring him back and say, hey, he's another top level pitcher now. He's elite.
He's very good.
He's better than he was when he left here.
Probably true. Yes.
Are we giving him more trust now to go out there and play his game?
Can he?
Because
he's a guy that's going to
another thing I heard when he left was that they didn't want him throwing some pitches that he ended up being very successful with in Texas.
Okay, well.
I mean, is he a guy who gets to go out there and say, hey, this is how I'm throwing my fucking game today?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Is he a guy who you let stay out there through the 7th inning with a little more trust?
Why? Was Monty so bad here?
No, he was good, but...
Even if that Monty is the Monty, even if that Monty would be the Monty that came back, is that a bad thing?
No.
Okay, so even if that's the basement,
but it is if I'm expecting the guy to come over here who threw was the ace of a World Series winning team.
That's your expectation. My expectation is for him to be Monty of 2022 or 2021. That's all I'm asking him to do. You don't think the Yankees can't win with that?
I think they absolutely can, but I want to expect more, especially if he's getting $25 million a year.
Okay.
Okay.
So pretty much a Monty start would be 2 to 3 runs, 6 to 7 innings. You can't. That's not worth $25 million a year.
Bring him on.
We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Mets.
Yeah, you think?
No, I don't know.
He's
got to sign somewhere this season.
He's going to be pitching in New York.
Look, Blake Snell is. They said Blake Snell's not going to be ready for the start of the season, so I wouldn't anticipate Montgomery being ready for the start of the season. This is the problem, dude. The season starts in 7 days. This guy hasn't signed anywhere. by the time you could be looking at, I'm not saying it would bleed this far into it, but I mean, how much of Gerrit Cole's time away are you going to need covered by a guy that's going to sign today, tomorrow, Thursday, Thursday afternoon?
Right.
So Nestor Cortez will be on the mound for the Yankees on opening day, and he did not pitch well today. He's sporting a near 8 ERA in spring training, so it's
we'll see, dude.
again, spring training doesn't matter except for when it matters. And Nestor Cortez did not pitch well last year and was hurt, and he has not pitched well in spring training. So,
yeah, he's not a guy I worry too much about spring training regardless. He's not like a guy who, I don't know, I guess it's tough to explain, but like he's such a weird, quirky junk ball kind of guy. He's probably just still working through the motions. You'd want him to still pitch better than he has. But, like, he could still go out there Thursday and be on track to be back to where he was a couple of years ago. I'm not going to put too much into his spring training. Obviously, you'd love to see him pitch better than he did. But, like, Nestor's going to be hit or miss. And you're just going to have to wait for the season. Like, you can't stress on his spring training, I don't think.
Yeah, well, who would you rather have taking the ball in a winner go home game, Jordan Montgomery or Nestor Cortez?
Jordan Montgomery.
Okay, so that answers your question right there.
Okay.
Okay. Also, questions are answered on people that wanted to rip Marcus Stroman. Again, you could say the Yankees are just covering for him, but Aaron Boone came out this week and said that Marcus was open to anything, and it was ultimately the Yankees' decision not to mess with him. So
good.
That's everybody that wanted to rip on Marcus Stroman, saying he's selfish and whatever else that they were saying about him. So that was from the manager of the Yankees, who's known to lie from time to time, but just figured I'd put that out there. Okay.
Okay.
So who is really the guy that's going to step up in Aaron Boone's Aaron Boone? I wish somebody would step up in Aaron Boone's absence.
Going to start banging.
And
We are
Gerrit
going to
Cole's
start
absence.
banging.
And that is Carlos Rodon, who is not the hero that we deserve, but he's the one that we need right now. And backing up the did he pitch 4 and
4 1/3 maybe?
Backing up that one-hit performance on the day that we found out we were losing Gerrit Cole, backed that up earlier this week with 5 2/3 hitless innings. So he's rounding into shape at the right time here, and it seems like he's is ready to put this staff on his shoulders right here.
It's great to see, man. I mean, just getting off of saying I'm not going to put too much stock into Nestor's spring training, man. I certainly am and certainly have put it into Carlos Rodon's, and it was pretty concerning when he first came out, and then he lost all that velocity, and then all of a sudden now it's back, and not only is it back, but he's a fucking artist out there all of a sudden, and he's getting swing and misses, and he's not giving up hits. I mean,
over his last 9 innings, 2 starts since the news.
What did he give a 1 hit?
And they were both after the team learned that Gerrit Cole is going to miss 2 months. He's allowed 1 hit.
Yeah, I mean, I said it last week, and I was pretty pumped up about it. I don't think it's a coincidence, man. I'm going to choose to believe it's not a coincidence. And this guy went out there and did what he did.
Let me be conspiracy Christian over here, okay?
Okay.
One of the things that Aaron Boone does do well is he knows how to that's true, but positively, is kind of manipulate situations to kind of pump his guys up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called gaslighting.
But you think you can.
He's just doing it in a positive way for his.
You want to say that he gaslit Carlos Rodon on what was it, Tuesday? Was when he started Tuesday?
Sometimes gaslighting can be positive when you're doing it for good reasons.
But you can't tell me that Aaron Boone didn't purposely choose the day that Joe Torre, of all people, was going to get the ball from a starting pitcher, that he didn't purposely set that up to be the day that Carlos Rodon pitched.
If I could have, I would give anything to be out there when Torre comes out and he gives like the 3 taps on his chest or his arm, and then his mouth opens and he says something. I wish I could have been there for whatever he said to that man taking the ball. There was something about that moment that I can't explain it, and I don't know unless you're old enough to remember that dynasty and watching Torrey go out there and the way he gives the point for going to the bullpen and the way he walks out there. Yeah, he might be however many years older and however many pounds lighter and whatever, but he still had that same walk, the same motion to the bullpen, and the words coming out of his mouth. I can't imagine the wisdom he put out there to Rodón in that short time. But there's something magical about that moment. Like, I know it's just spring training, but if you grew up in the Joe Torre era and you were old enough to truly appreciate it, that was an amazing moment.
No, but there's nobody on this pitching staff that needed that more than Carlos Rodón.
No one.
And that is where you got to give Aaron Boone credit. He manipulated that situation. And of course, we weren't there, but I have to think that Joe Torre said something along the lines of what we had said last week. Like, this is your opportunity to shine now. Yeah. Do what, this team needs you. Keep doing what you did today. Something like that.
Yeah.
And there's nobody that would mean more coming from than Joe Torre.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like maybe this was a plan, but it didn't come to fruition until that moment where it was like, hey man, this would be a fucking perfect moment for Rodón if you just went out there and talked to him. He just shoved, go do this and show him what being a Yankee's all about.
And
Rodón kind of brought that
nostalgic,
nostalgic, 90s vibe back.
Rodón thought he was going to at least get to finish the sixth, and he had said that. He's like, oh, I saw somebody coming out, and I was getting kind of pissed because I was like, he was like, it's a lefty, like they can't at least let me finish the inning. And then he was like, oh, it's Joe Torre. He's like, I can't say anything.
Yeah, I saw a great reply to that on that thread. It was someone posted the Mike Messina video of him freaking out when Torre came out.
Get back in the dugout. He's like, okay.
Yeah, but imagine if Rodón did that to Joe Torre.
That would be...
There's a fucking lefty up.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna, you know what? Because now we're ready to start the season. Positive vibes, okay? So I'm gonna give Aaron Boone credit for this, and hopefully that this is like the final, like, you got this, Carlos.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I'm telling you this. I don't want to say this and make it seem like not having Gerrit Cole for 2-3 months isn't going to hurt. It's obviously going to hurt. It's not season ending, but it is still going to hurt. There's going to be a hole there. But if Carlos Rodón can step it up and be the guy we need him to, he's going to fill that fucking hole, dude.
Yeah, he's going to fill his.
He's going to fill that hole, dude.
I think he's got 3 kids, so he knows how to fill the hole.
He knows how to fill the hole. Okay. And he's going to fill it.
He's Rodón it before. Okay.
He's Rodón it before.
Okay.
And he's going to Rodón it again. Okay.
All right.
Another guy the Yankees desperately need to step up this year, and that's Giancarlo Stanton, who had himself a fucking night last night.
Jesus.
3 home runs, all tater shots.
Yeah.
The Dig Bick energy was out in Tampa last night, and I know Marco Gonzalez is tailor-made for Giancarlo Stanton, junk ball and lefty, but I mean, Jesus, dude, if you didn't get a little excited.
A little chubby.
Can I just
a little chub.
Here's why I hate when people say here's why I hate when people have to just I don't know, like, I can't think of the word I want to say.
Pessimistic, find the negative.
No, like they just always have to like take their shot at a moment. Like, I tweeted something out like, this is the most dangerous he looked in one spring training, and then he looked all of last year, right? And then other people have to be like, oh, this guy's tailor-made for him. He's a junk ball and lefty. Like, people have said that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how many junk ball and lefties did Giancarlo Stanton look dominant against last year? How many games did he hit 3, almost 4 home runs with 8 or 9 RBIs, whatever he had? How many times did he do that last year? How many times did Giancarlo Stanton, even on foul balls, turn on the ball so well that he smoked it down the line? I don't care who's pitching right now. I don't care if it was a little leaguer.
Right.
I haven't seen Giancarlo look like that in over a year. I'm going to be excited.
Dead center. 455 dead center.
It was impressive. I don't care who's on the mound. And you got to be, as a Yankee fan right now, you have to hang your hat on some shit, man. I'm going to be excited about that.
Sure.
No, I mean, you have to be excited about the way Giancarlo Stanton looked last night. That is Big G right there. That's a guy that can wreck a baseball game. And if that guy, and I said this in the chat last night, can I get in? If this guy is an 850 OPS guy this year, the Yankees are going to have one of the most dangerous offenses in baseball.
By
And
default, you almost can't not at that point.
And hold on. I just want to make a point real quick.
Okay, he's going to make a point.
When was that? Last night? He did that?
Point.
Yeah.
We'll make a point.
Okay, Christian.
Well, listen.
Again, it's just spring training. What was Big G's batting average when we had the episode of SGR? I don't think you were here.
It was under 100. It was under 100.
And we were like, is he washed up? Is he whatever? He's sitting at 314 right now.
Yeah.
So again, that's why you can't look into spring training too deeply, right? But
right.
He knocked the dust off.
And excited.
He had 3 home runs yesterday, 8 RBI. He's batting 314 this spring with the season around the corner. Let's be optimistic here that Big G still has it.
When the evidence starts to back itself up, it's a fair question to ask. He was
Absolutely.
terrible last year. He was hitting
Absolutely.
080 or whatever it was.
Absolutely.
Now he had a night like last night, and you wonder, can that guy be the guy? Can that be Big G, the game wrecker? Dig Bick, can he be that guy again?
Here's something I'll say.
Here's what I'm going to say. Before you say that, I want to make a declaration.
Okay. Oh, here it is. I'm excited for this right now. I know what it's going to be.
The Giancarlo Stanton SMD Tour 2024, it's in full effect.
Wow.
Giancarlo Stanton SMD Tour, you heard it here. Okay.
Does that mean it's really going to be next year?
Oh.
It's probably going to be next. That's right. It was a
'Cause
year
you
off.
fucked
Very
up.
cool.
Listen,
I'm pumped for you. I've always loved Gerrit. Obviously, I've always loved Gerrit. I've always loved Giancarlo Stanton, man. And I always thought that the Yankee fans gave this guy a lot of undue shit, and he's always handled it perfectly. And I just, dude, he's gonna wreck shit this year.
Here's what
I'm positive. Let's be positive.
Here's what I'll say real quick on Stanton. Again, it's still spring training. He's got to do it over 162 game season.
Or 110 for him.
Okay. And I'm not saying that he can't be a bum again. It's obviously possible, but you didn't just see 3 home runs last night. You saw a guy who clearly has more in the tank than he showed all of last year. Like, that just doesn't disappear when you're able to show it. When you're able to come back and be leaner and more athletic and hopefully looking to stay healthier. And then you go out there and now you're starting to hit the ball. You're starting to be dangerous and you're fucking hitting him over the batter's eye. This guy clearly still has something in there and it's more than we thought. So he's still got it.
Yeah, still has the high exit velo, like Kevin
right.
Cruz just said. In
exactly.
The chat, still hitting 115. Like those are all the pieces that scouts are looking for. They're still making that solid contact. He's still doing that. So
look, you got to respect the guy. Came into camp in different shape, trying something different batting stance, and then it paid off in a big way last night. And let's go. And I think it's gonna pay off for the Yankees in the long run over the course of the season. Like I said, if that OPS is over 800 and it approaches 850, it's going to be a tough offense to stop because Aaron Judge is going to be Aaron Judge. Juan Soto is going to be Juan Soto. I mean, you're going to have to figure out who's going to be at the top of the lineup. I like Verdugo there. I think eventually, I think it'll eventually become Anthony Volpe. It could or could not be DJ LeMahieu on opening day. He's got the
Gleyber Torres, another guy that
the Yankees like him there, but I don't like Gleyber.
I love Gleyber.
I kind of like Gleyber lead
bottom. I love Gleyber like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I
love him down there.
Gleyber's like such a great 6 hitter
because he's got that pop, but he also puts the ball in play. And there's going to be a lot of guys on base this year, man.
He's not with lefties.
He's just not a setup guy.
He's not a guy that really works a lot of counts too. You know, it's
sure. Yeah, he doesn't profile as your typical.
And once
leadoff
you
guy,
get,
but he'll
and
get
if
on
you're
base.
doing this, and if you're going Judge, Soto, Stanton, Rizzo, and then Glaber, you're gonna, and
Yeah,
Glaber's,
I'd rather
yeah.
him be a compliment than a
and
table
Glaber's
setter
gonna,
for those
and then at
guys.
that point, Glaber's gonna kill you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I could see them having
Maybe
him at least
last year,
platoon
right?
or something.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to have a handful of games
Like,
at
yeah, where I could
leadoff.
just see them doing it, and I wouldn't necessarily be too opposed to it. But I would much rather have that version of Glaber, the compliment to the main course.
But DJ LeMahieu's dealing with a bone bruise again. This is like a freak thing, a fluke thing. Found the ball off his foot, but at this point in DJ LeMahieu's career, are we just supposed to expect these things out of him now?
Not really.
What, the injuries and stuff?
Yeah, the injuries.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like done with this guy. I mean, and again, like, how long did he know he was hurt too? I bet this has been bothering him all spring, and he's trying to fight through it.
No, it was no. This was
Well, the
reported,
foul, the ball
foul
off
ball.
the foot.
Yeah, this was reported rather quickly. It was like
Yeah,
he was
alright.
the day
I
before.
don't know,
And then
he's on my bat. He's on my little bad
Yeah,
list.
here's
on,
my
he's
here's
on the
my,
SGR naughty list.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with the DJ stuff. Any other guy, you're kind of just I don't know, like Judge has a freak thing and you're just like, come on, it's a freak injury. He's Aaron Judge, he's this, he's that. Even when G goes down, you're like, come on, it's G, man. We need him in this lineup. We need him hitting home runs. For me with DJ, it's like I don't need to just sit here and expect it anymore because he's become a replaceable guy to me. Right? Like, I never thought I'd say that because he was so good here his first couple years. But, like, what did he bat last year? 230?
240-ish.
I mean, he's become expendable to me. And it's like, if I have to sit here and say I expect these injuries from him, then I don't need to. Like,
He's replaceable, except for
he's
the Yankees don't have anybody to replace him.
yeah, but they can.
They can, but they haven't.
Right. Well, okay, so you're making my point again. You're saying should the Yankees and should we as fans just expect this? Like, yeah, but we shouldn't have to, I don't think, at this point. Like, we can he's become a replaceable guy. I don't want him to be. I want him to be DJ, the DJ he was, because I fucking love DJ, man.
Yeah, I don't know if that guy exists anymore.
Well, then if not, then no, we shouldn't just sit here and have to expect this from him. It just should be a non-factor for us at this point.
I don't think. I mean, I don't understand the Yankees' obsession with wanting to bat him lead off too.
That's the problem too, right? It's like it's not even just that they can replace him; it's that they won't, and they want to bat him lead off.
Ooh, there are rumors going out there that Josh Harrison could be a name that they come out and bring on in case he does hit the IL, though, if it is something that's more concerning.
Yeah, I heard
than
Josh
everything.
Harrison. I also heard that
I've wanted Josh Harrison on this team for years. That would be a great signing for them.
even though the Yankees had the opportunity to sign him and didn't, is that Brian Hoke was then speculating if Urshela doesn't win the third base job in Detroit that he could be
Yeah, I
traded.
saw that.
So
We'll
I
see.
mean,
Wouldn't be against the Harrison move, though.
well, the
I really
Yankees.
think
Well,
he
unfortunately,
qualifies.
Oswald Peraza really blew his chance by. Even though the Yankees hate him, he really did blow his chance this spring here by
Yeah.
being hurt.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, man. What happens with DJ because the Yankees need DJ LeMahieu to be a good, solid hitter.
Sure.
Yeah.
If he's going to be a worm beater batting 230, what good is that? Because what else does he
Right.
do?
It's pointless. Pointless.
I'm so sorry to
Try
derail
something
this
else.
right now, but if I don't mention it, was this a dream or because you just said Hap, so it brought me back to those days. Who was Paxton? Did I read somewhere that Paxton signed
Yeah,
Dodgers.
he's with the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's
like
the Dodgers.
in the
5.
major leagues?
Yeah, he's their 5.
Oh my God! Wow, sorry,
It's all good.
just said Hap, dude.
All
and
right.
You brought me back.
You good?
I'm good.
All right.
All right, so I really hate everybody on Twitter right now because this is an amazing joke and nobody's liked this tweet. But the Yankees apparently they've added a Mr. Softy stand to the concessions this year, which I'm not really excited about because Mr. Softy's been sitting in the dugout since 2018.
You think it was too sophisticated for everyone?
It might be.
Yeah, I think that was.
And
the
I think they
problem.
were.
What, is that? What ice cream?
Some
was in the
people were.
dugout?
Some people were probably caught up on the fact that you spelt it wrong.
I didn't spell it wrong.
Yeah, you're supposed to spell out the Mister.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying, dude. You gotta. People are very temperamental on that app. Okay.
Are you really supposed to spell out?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Let me see. Let's Google it.
Google
I guess so. But when you put it in Google suggestions, it does say MR. But
Okay.
the website is MISTER.
Okay. So I'm smarter than Google.
Mm.
I thought it was a good tweet. I knew it was going to go over people's head.
Grade A
dude.
tweet. I retweeted. I even put a OK plus in the
Wow.
quote tweet, dude. That's when you know. When I had the plus in there.
Apparently Kentucky lost. Okay.
Did they really?
Okay, there goes the Yankees' chances. Okay.
I kind of changed my Francesa a little bit. I was listening to him today, and he kind of he does like this little.
He does like a lisp when he talks. So it's a slight little just difference there that there's this thing that he does.
It's like more of it's
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
this
He
is
only
what
does
I
it.
fucking do. Everyone.
It's not always, though. It's when he's in a
it's-
certain tone.
Yes, he has different tones. He has different ways of
does.
speaking, and it's
Sometimes he
like,
just sounds
sometimes
really
I sound
tired.
a lot like him, and I'm like, I sound nothing like this guy.
Yeah.
it comes
Did you hear
back.
he went? You see when he went viral last week?
No.
No.
You know David Bakhtiari, the offensive.
Bacala- Bobby
Bobby
Bacala?
Baklava?
But no, David Bakhtiari, the offensive lineman for the Packers. That's a good friend of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
okay.
I did believe he's a free agent right now. So obviously he's
Okay.
connected to coming to the Jets.
Okay.
So Francesca called him bacteria.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what that was in reference to.
Okay.
Did he do it by accident?
I guess.
Or was he
Yeah.
calling it?
No.
Was that his nickname?
No, that he butchered his
Okay.
last name.
Why
He
would
called-
they bring in bacteria? Okay. Why would you do that? All bacteria does, okay, it spreads. Okay. It's like a virus. Okay. They want to bring in bacteria. Okay. That's not a good idea. A lot of people are gonna see this, and they're gonna have to wear a mask. Okay, because all the bacteria. Okay. They're gonna have to, watch the game on Zoom. Okay. It's too much bacteria in the air. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good. That's a
Speaking
good
of
one.
air, let's bring the fans onto the airwaves
right.
here. We have
Cool,
some
awesome.
voice.
How
There's
many
some-
Pete, tell us in the chat. How many
We have
voicemails?
faux. We have faux.
Faux
voice.
for show?
Yeah. All right.
We don't
So
have any
back in the
offensive
control
stuff
room.
in there.
Let's yeah, listen, let's not get kicked off.
Yeah, come on. We're just trying to really move up a lot this year. So
Yeah, come
please,
on.
if you are leaving a voicemail, be as disrespectful as possible because it's pretty funny.
All right, let's hear those voicemails.
Hey guys, me Brett Gardner.
Oh,
Long time
shit.
no talk. I just want to call in and talk to you guys a little bit. Maybe potentially fill in for SGR one of these days if he's on assignment or something. But of course, go straight to voicemail. But maybe I could also give a message out to Gerrit Cole here as well, since he has since blocked my number from that spider tack incident a few years back in the locker room. He just hasn't decided to return my call. So Garrett, you're listening. I know you are. Just please give me a call back. I know you throw hard, but right now you're going through a time that must be hard. So I'm sorry about that, and I hope you're doing all right. And hopefully we could talk again soon. Maybe even the Yankees can call me back too. They kind of ghosted me. I mean, heck, I was hoping to throw my name in the hat for a Yes Network gig, but nope, they just re-signed Todd Frazier instead. Tom's River legend, Todd Frazier. So, all right, guys. Sorry to keep you on the line. I know I'm a nuisance. I know I'm not the player I thought I once was. I'll get it. But let's have a good year, guys. We want to have a nice, easy year. All right? We definitely don't want the opposite of easy. All right? You quote me on that.
I miss Gardy, man.
Man, he sounds kind of upset. We're gonna have to get him on here soon.
Maybe we bring back the Gardy report a couple times this year.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
we could,
since he missed out on the Yes Network gig.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I
didn't
tried
realize
calling him and he didn't answer. So I guess
Wow.
They're playing phone
Lines
tag,
got
maybe.
lines got crossed there. All right, let's see what the next one is.
Yeah, what up, fellas? This is the one and only friendly neighborhood DJC Leo calling in again. How you doing? What up, Chris? What up, Christian? What up, SGR? What's up, guys? How you doing tonight, fellas? I had a couple questions for you, man. I don't know if you guys spoke about this. I'm currently listening, but I'm be on and off because I'm, doing things. But the
Doing
whole
things,
Ohtani
okay.
thing, man. I feel like he knew. But MLB is gonna, they're gonna protect him at all costs, basically, because he is he's the knight in shining armor, basically. I don't get it, man, but it is what it is. Also, another thing, Monty to the Yankees. I don't know why that's kicking up again, man. I don't know why, but whatever. And yeah, man, I just want to hear you guys' thoughts about that. And also, if you guys are going to the 420, I will definitely give you a shout out because I'm definitely going over there also. Yeah, and before I leave, man, I got a good little dad joke for you guys. I got a couple actually. I'm gonna give you two. Why don't chicken wear pants? Because it's peckers on his face. No? All right. I got one more. My grandma said she hates her stair lift. It's driving her up the walls.
Okay.
Gotta go,
a good
guys.
All right, I like that. That
Oh,
was funny,
listen,
man.
this is a simple answer. Just when you have more time, just go back and listen to the show from beginning to end because we
just
covered
go to
both
especially
of
the
your
beginning. We covered a lot more of the Ohtani stuff
topics.
early on. We were
Yeah,
in the
just to-
LADST podcast earlier.
The specific question that he asked about why Monty to the Yankees is picking up again is because Scott Boras is desperate and he needs to get this guy
Desperate.
signed. So
Do you think Patrick would like our show more if we were Dodgers podcast, LADST, because we'd be the lads?
the lads.
The lads. Hello, fellas.
Fellas,
Real
miss
quick
you, Patrick.
before we get to the next voicemail, our boy Ra with the super chat.
Ra.
Thanks, Ra. He said, guys, I asked Pete this last week, what letter grade do you give the Yankee lineup and what grade for the rotation? Lineup for me, A plus if G's gonna hit. I mean, what better lineup are you
too
going to
many
have
question
out there?
marks to I'm gonna go B plus just because
Oh,
I
my
just have too
God,
many
B+.
question marks. There's new players that I want to see how they acclimate and perform, and the bottom half of the lineup doesn't really impress me too much. There's just too many question marks for me to even give it
Well,
an
it should, I mean,
right now.
honestly, it should impress you because Austin Wells is going to be a maniac this year.
It's,
and I think
it looks like I'm gonna be very off.
and
with this,
I think
but
Anthony Volpe is going to have a big season. I
I
really do.
think so too. I don't know. I'm just kind of pessimistic with that.
I like it as an A minus. An
Yeah.
A minus.
I'll go A, and if G's going to hit, A plus. I mean, it's that
And
simple.
without Gerrit Cole, this is an F rotation.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a yes, C minus at best.
Yeah, with potential to be a B
Right.
plus.
Again, there's just always those question marks with.
There's more question marks
scenarios, but
rotation-wise right now.
rotation. We're missing the 1/5 of it, and that 1/5
Fauchau.
is Gerrit Cole.
Yeah.
Fauchau. Okay.
Okay. Next. Okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, Kyle Malay here. What do you think about Jordan Montgomery maybe going back to the Yankees? According to John Heyman, that's a possibility. Just want to know what you think. And you guys do a great job. Have a good night.
Okay.
And thanks for calling.
Oh
Thanks,
wow.
man.
Oh, nice.
Kids involved. Okay.
Wow.
Sweet.
That was
Thanks for
nice,
calling.
man.
I don't know if
Thanks.
you should be letting your kids listen to us. Okay?
I don't know, man. We're okay.
We're all right.
All
I
right.
mean,
Okay. All right. Nothing too bad.
we're no Coco Melon, but shit.
I would love
Shit.
it at this
Coco
point.
Melon's
He's
probably worse.
Yeah, honestly, they probably have like subliminal.
Probably worse
At least
for
we're
your
more
fucking-
upfront and not like subliminally. There's
Yeah.
not like dicks flying behind
Come
me
on,
while I
dude.
talk.
For
But
sure.
I would love it. I mean, he had success here. That's always something you're looking for. It just you just don't know. I don't know if you really want to go out there and bring in somebody else. But I would totally. If I wake up tomorrow and it's Jordan Montgomery signed with the Yankees, I would definitely be happy about it because they got better.
Agreed.
Okay. I think this is the last one.
Last one. Okay.
Hey guys, how are you doing tonight? Great show. I just wanted to chime in about the Ohtani thing. This is Rich calling Jersey. Ohtani had to know what was going on. There's no two ways about it, and they're trying to cover this up big time. First off, they say through his attorneys that Ohtani was supposed to be helping a friend out with a gambling debt. Then all of a sudden, the story changes real quick. In a couple of hours, he stole the $4.5 million through the wire fraud. No, it just doesn't happen like that. You have to go through many stops of when you're transferring money through wires, approvals, maybe even phone verification, especially for that amount from there, unless he was able to be like a co-signer on his thing that he was able and had that permission, which I highly doubt, but you never know. And the only reason I can think of is that there was bets on baseball. That's why they changed the story real quick. So that way, if they say he stole the money, then he's covering his own tail from right there. So that way he doesn't get suspended. And Lord knows, I mean, that guy's in the clubhouse a lot with Ohtani. He may know that a pitcher is not at his best, or, you know, some inside story about an outfielder not playing, or, you know, something to give him the edge to make that bet. Because he can't tell me that he betted on everything except for baseball. Point number 2 on that is that he was in the dugout with Ohtani, game 1, smiling, laughing, and yucking it up, and the cameras caught that. If I found out that my friend was stealing from me, that guy would not be sitting next to me and laughing it up.
Not 400
I don't
million.
know. I guess we're going to see how this unfolds. Have a great day, guys.
Great call.
You know,
Yeah, you
thanks.
made a lot of great points there, and that's the thing that why innocent until proven guilty, but why the story change?
Yeah, well, here's something, and thanks for the voicemail there, and I'm glad it was brought back up, because there is one thing I wanted to mention when I brought up Craig Carton chiming in on this, and this is a really good point that's being overlooked. There's a big problem here, because the story changed, like Rich, right? That was Rich said. Like Rich just said, the story changed, and the story changed from me helping a friend to he stole $4.5 million. Now, what happens if he stole $4.5 million? Now we're talking about your translator not just taking the fall for you, but doing some serious jail time.
Oh, for sure. That's a federal crime.
I mean, we're just like, it's enough trouble here. And here's one last thing I'll say. I can't stand Ohtani. I hate him more because of how the media treats him than I do for him. But I'll be honest with you. If he came out and stuck with the original story, he was, you know, he's helping his translator out, a friend out, and whatever, still illegal, still should be suspended, but I can forgive him for it. I can't forgive him for lying and throwing his friend in jail if that's the case. And more importantly, I will never forgive Major League Baseball if they continue to just cover this up and not dig into it. And real quick, we have a super chat from Crackle Nuts. Thanks.
Okay.
He said, "Show is effing guilty in my book. What's up, fellas?" Yeah, we'll see, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, there's definitely more to the story, because you notice when the story broke, it didn't break in December, it didn't break in January, it broke the week of the season. So
The
there's
day.
more to the
That
day, the
day.
day it started, and that's that. You notice that with the media, that the story pops out when it would be at its peak of interest.
Yep.
So there's more to come, I bet.
Okay, more to come. Okay.
Okay, come.
Okay.
Okay. So
Oh.
let's finish on a Yankee note here. Is Aaron Boone was on with a couple of cucks the other day, and he said that Luis Heel is definitely in the mix for the 5th starter, but he doesn't have a lot of innings available to him this year, between 80 and 100, due to him basically not pitching the last 2 years. The Tommy John, I think that the best use of him is probably as a multi-inning reliever once or twice a week.
Yeah.
If you're only going to get 80 innings out of him, I think Will Warren might be the favorite. Luke Weaver's probably in the conversation as well. Be interesting to see. I think the Yankees tomorrow are piggybacking Warren after Heel. So maybe that's a route they go. Give Heel like
Yeah.
2 1/3, 3 innings, and then Warren comes in, gives them like 3, 4, go to the bullpen. That could be a route that they go to keep both guys' innings down, even though Warren's pretty built up. I think he gave the Yankees a lot of innings in the minor leagues last year. So, I mean, that's really the only thing that's kind of not settled right now as we're going into the season. If LeMahieu's healthy, we know who the 1 through 9 are. If everybody's healthy in the bullpen, everything's going to shake out. We know who the names are, even though Jonathan Loizaga is still working his way back. Tommy Kahnle's going to be on the IL, but you kind of know who the guys are there. The rotation without Cole, you know who 1 through 4 is. It's who's going to be the 5th guy, and that's really the only question going into the season right now.
So I'll say one quick thing. I thought Weaver looked really good, but I think Luis Heel deserves the mention that if he had the innings under his belt and that wasn't an issue, he has clearly, in my opinion, earned that 5th spot. I think his stuff
agree.
has just been on another level this spring. I really am very impressed by him.
I've liked what I've seen.
I've always loved his stuff. His strike throwing ability is always what we've called into question here.
Would that
so.
be his Achilles heel?
Okay.
Okay, well, that's a good dad joke.
Yeah, you like that. So does that last caller probably like that shit. You got to think though, like, are they going to go with the safe pick, the smart pick, or the risky pick? I think the safe pick is definitely Weaver since he has the most experience. I think the smart pick would be Heel because his stuff has looked the best. But that risky pick, if you want to see what you got in the bag there with Will Warren, you go out and you give it to Will Warren. You get a little spark in there. But the commentary of that game when Weaver was pitching was that he is not going to get this job, that it's between Heel and Warren. But I really think they're going to end up going with Weaver in the end.
I mean,
it's that safer option.
It's definitely a possibility.
It didn't sound like it, according to Jeff Nelson.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Another guy that higher over me.
What was that?
So we'll find out in due time because next week, 7 days from this exact day, the New York Yankees are going to kick off the 2024 season in Houston against the Astros, for the 20 with Nestor Cortez on the bump there. So it's going to be. I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the season to start. It's not a perfect start to the season. Obviously, that would be with Gerrit Cole on the hill. But I mean, any time that the Yankees are back after, especially such a disappointing year that they had last year, you got to feel like you just got to be excited that baseball's back.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, baseball's back.
We would be super excited if you are still in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us on this extra long show, our last show of the off season. If you want to be mad at anybody that the show was so long, blame Shohei Ohtani. Okay,
True.
his fault.
Okay, it's your fault.
Degenerate. Okay.
Degenerate fucking piece of shit.
1-800 Gamblers Anonymous. Okay.
Alright.
When you save that to your contacts list.
So if you're still in the chat and you haven't done so already, hit the like button, subscribe to NYYU, subscribe to the NYYST podcast, wherever you get your podcast, and make sure you tell everybody that we are the official Yankee podcast. We should just be the official podcast.
Yeah, because it would just be easier for you.
It would be easier for me, and whatever genre it is, we are the official podcast of Odyssey, okay?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
True crime, cooking, fashion, it doesn't matter. NYYST is the official podcast of Odyssey. That works for me. Does it work for you?
Works for me.
All right,
I'll let them know.
So we want to thank everybody for their support this off season. We're ready to go. Big things in 2024. This channel is going to go to the moon and beyond. So is this show, man. I'm fucking pumped. I'm excited. It's going to be the biggest year ever for the NYYST podcast and NYY Underground. So thank you very much for your continued support of NYYST and NYYU. Thank you very much for listening and watching episode 373. SGR.
Go Yanks.
Chris, say goodbye.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah. Hey, look, top floor, lifestyle, chef and boy, I'm cooking up. Way too high, ain't coming down, you see me if you looking up. I don't really talk too much, I show them run the numbers up. Lucky that I'm strolling up, I'm going off, they know what's up. Wrist too silly, yeah, numbers crack the billy, yeah, don't need no dilly. I'm too fresh, I feel like really, yeah. Feel the duffels up the sign, I need a million. I'm about to take off, and I know that I'm on they radar. Top 10